So the Kundalini transforms the system. So the spiritual energy, which has already been activated, can flow more strongly throughout the whole system, doing its job. But then you go beyond it. And that's the Brahmanadi. It's the only one, they all in here, Ida Pagali. The Brahmanadi is the only one that goes to the crown chakra. And that's where the liberation happens. And that, now, it's my belief system, only because that's the way it worked, is that has to be activated by the Guru. So I kind of knew this and didn't know this. I'm meditating 6 hours a day. And suddenly a voice says, get up and go to Muktananda's inner courtyard. I never would have done that on my own. Okay? Because I try to just be very, I was on the inner process. I wasn't counting on an outer process so much. And then it said, sit down. So I got there. It's a kind of an inner meditation now. And then I sit down, and then he comes out in his pajamas, red pajamas, because I peeked, so whoa. And then he starts pulling on this area here, moving it and pulling it, which is the activating of the final step.
Yes.
The line had gone all the way up, but the final step was he had to activate it to complete it. And that turns out to be, as I looked it up later, very traditional. So that gives you a feeling. So the Kundalini, in a sense, ends a little bit here primarily, but there is one Brahmanadi continues, one thin stream. I've seen different levels. I think it's best to have that kind of teacher and have that kind of relationship. What's the downside? You can get caught in the relationship and not transcend it. So we're born into I am awareness. Okay, and we think that's the where it's all about. But in liberation, you have to go beyond the I am awareness into I-ness, and eventually even the I-ness disappears. So if you're hanging on to the I am awareness, it's going to block you. And it's the same thing with the spiritual teacher. Some spiritual teachers kind of hold on to you, but really the process at the end is you have to walk that path by yourself. Okay, now, doesn't mean they don't show up to do what Muktananda did, but it's your responsibility at a certain point. So the role of the teacher is support your spiritual practices, help you with questions. If you fall into a certain hole, well, they've usually fallen into that hole 30 years before. They can,
Yeah.
And then, but at some point, you're not transcending them, but you have to, the last bit has to be more on your own.
The one that makes me laugh, he said, and threw his arms around my neck. Show me how you do it, and I promise that I'll run away with you. I'll run away.